We need to talk about Monster Hunter Wilds. I've loaded up the benchmark that is on the Steam page just to run through the background. I turned off the sound because we don't need to hear them talking. But let's kick off this benchmark. It's going to have frame generation on. I'm running an RTX 4090. You'll see the specs of my PC coming up. But this has been just over 12 hours since the game launched, and I've been running into performance issues. You can see on the screen I'm running 120 frames per second with frame generation. If you take frame generation off, I'm running just above 60. And I look to try and cap my games at 60 anyway. But just want to show you, obviously, with this on, that on Ultra, the resolution edit is my rig be able to handle the game. And it's disappointing because I'll say it out front now, I'm really enjoying the game. The combat is just as you would expect with Monster Hunter, but I'm coming into a lot of issues. I'm coming into issues of glitching sort of armor. So you put a hat on and the sort of feathers are just going off in some weird pattern. I'm having characters pop in and out. I'm getting triangles across, the black triangles across my game. And that's even turning down sort of the mesh, which apparently causes that down to like the lowest level to turn that off. It's yeah, I get them across, and the issues I'm having is I go into like I'm in the third zone in my playthrough so far. I go into there, which is the oil well basin, which has been seen, so it's not a spoiler, and I'm going down to like 20 frames a second. And again, this is with frame generation on as well. I mean, I'm just tanking. Had a quick look through, and you have a look at the forums and stuff. They say make sure you've got your latest NVIDIA driver on. I'm running the NVIDIA driver that came out yesterday, I believe, 27th of February. So that's the latest one on there. And this, I've got this going here just to prove that my rig can handle this game. So to me, this is an optimization of the game, and it's affecting my enjoyment of the game. So I'm getting texture popping, I'm getting really, really laggy situations. And you'll probably see this is a few times I've run this, and even with frame gen on, it properly dips when it's trying to do too much with the game. And yeah, I think you'll see it sort of coming up here down into the 60s, 50s, and there's just so much coming in on the game that it just feels undercooked. And it's a shame. I say texture popping, real low stuttering or frame stuttering. I've had characters pop in and out. I've had textures on maps just not go properly, and then they start to fuzz. And it's a shame. It's a really big shame that the game, for me, needs more polish. You see here, just they're showing this with all of these enemies and all of these creatures on the game. That a rig, say, I'm running as you can see that, an RTX 4090 and an i9. And it's the only game that I own that I'm having this issue. I bought this PC 9 months ago. And every game that I play, I have played. I've played Rebirth on the PC. I've got it on the PC as well as on PlayStation 5. And I played Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth. Came out last year. Runs smoothly. I've had no hiccups, no performance issues. Yeah, I come to here, and even in the benchmark, my average frames are 112 at the moment. It slows up, and generally out and about like this, I'm okay. But you can see here that the range of frames per second going up and down is concerning, and it's not something I really noticed when the benchmark came out. I just ran it and then come back, and it said, "Bang, yes, should be able to cover it." And I was expecting to not. This is literally max. I haven't changed any of the settings, and I was expecting maybe to take a couple. And what I found in my playthrough so far is that I have had an issue. It's like the meshing. So I tweak the mesh. That's fine. And then other stuff's popped off, like the issues with the armor that I was talking about. And it's frustratingly annoying that it just, for me, needed more time in the oven. And it's systematic for me of modern gaming where everyone pushes for a release date and then devs have to try and hit that release date and they just come out undercooked. Look, this is frame gen art. I'm getting 30. What is on the screen right now is indicative of what I'm getting in the game. Out and about, you're getting that 110, 120, but I'm seeing 50s, 40s at the moment, purely because of the amount of stuff that they put on the screen. And I've pushed it down to medium settings, and I'll rerun this on less settings as well, just to do that. And it's annoying. I just was hoping for more consistency of frames and not having these performance related issues. Is it detracting from my gameplay? Yes, it is. Is it from my enjoyment of the game is being diminished because of this? Because I'm going in and out of every single episode that I'm recording and going, I need to tweak something else. I need to tweak something else. I need to tweak something else because I just want a stable frame rate. Cap it at 60. That's absolutely fine. I'll cap it at 60. And if you give me 60, that's fine. Don't drop me down to like 30, 20 when it comes to, scenes like this. It'll come up saying I'm good, probably. Yeah, so I'm good, right? It's showing I've got good performance. Is it perfect? Absolutely not. There's my GPU driver, which has just come up. So I'm going to come back to the title screen here. I'm going to go back into the options and just tweak a few things. And I noticed this. I tried to live stream the game on launch, and I've ended up having to do episodic videos because I was having cataclysmic issues streaming the game. And, granted, I'm streaming and playing off the same rig. It's probably not the best thing to do, but I only have one PC, so what can I do? So if I come here, instead of ultra, if I go to high, ultra is 7.52, high down to 572. Let's just, have a look at that. I can't change on here as well, which is annoying, the frames that I want. So in the actual game, you can change what you want. But if I go to my PC specs, there you go. That's what they are. Are they the best? No. Are they the worst? Certainly not. Let's benchmark again off this. And this is what I'm probably gonna just go and do on my playthrough. Medium. Am I butt hurt that I've got to do it on medium or high? No. But what I'm expecting is when it comes to me and says, and the benchmark that I've got is good, cool. I know there's a step above it. This is excellent, right? But what I'm expecting is it should scan and go, cool, here's the settings that you need to go for. But it's not just that I'm annoyed about. So that's the performance issues, and I'm going to run this through. What else am I disappointed about in the game? The pacing of the game is off for me. So Monster Hunter World, Iceborne, you went into the Ancient Forest, you did a load of hunts in the Ancient Forest, and then through story progression, you went through to the Wildspire Waste and so on and so forth, which is fine, right? You come to here and, you go, I can't remember the first location's name, but you go sand dunes into forest, and I've just got into the oil well basin. I know it's the oil well basin because I've done some research on it, just to see if anybody else is having issues there. But you're coming through, and they're going for a bigger story, more detailed story, but it's too much of a story. If that's a really valid criticism, and it's really weird for saying it, but I'm going out, I'm fighting a monster, I'm then having 20 to 30 minutes of dialogue or on a sacred going to this location where I can't do anything. I went off in one of my episodes to go and fight another Congalala because I wanted to go and fight another Congalala, but no, I couldn't because it wasn't authorized by the guild, so I had to go and do the story points. And I'm still in low rank, right? So I'm sure it opens up after that. But I want, what for me is a Monster Hunter is you go out and you go, cool, I now want to fight these. And I can go out into the world and I can fight some stuff. At the moment, the only majority of the time I can do it is by going and selecting the quests, which is different to what I got from the beta. So I go to the beta and you hear like, bang, I could go to the quest and get it, or I can go out and fight something. And I'm just looking at the frames now going, am I really not going to be able to cope with high? It's fine. We'll see in a minute. But yeah, the story, it's it's going along too quick. It's not letting you breathe. It's not letting you take time to do what you want it to do. It just pushes you on. Like you have to go into this next zone, next zone, next zone. You have to go back to this. Always come back to here and go back to this village. I just, it's different to what I expected, and I don't like it. What I do like is the core gameplay of the game. The loops, the combats and stuff is good, but I'm finding I'm getting throttled by the story. And it's just frustrating me at this moment in time, where I've just taken a pause and reinstalled my drivers for like the third time just to see if that was an issue. Gone back in, tried to tweak some more of them, and it's just this first 12 hours has been painful. Absolutely painful. Yeah. Monster Hunter Wilds, I just wish they would have got towards the end of their testing cycle and then given us a date. If they didn't announce the game was coming out on the 28th of February when they did, and they said we're going to do an open, the open beta in mid-February, and depending on the outputs of that beta, we'll give you a date. I would rather not know when a game is coming out until it's 100% ready, and I just feel this game is not ready. I just think the optimization of the game, the pacing of the game it just needed another month in the oven. And it's a shame. I'm sure I'll come back in, when title update 1 comes in April, and by that point I'll have done the game and, completed it and stuff, because I was still going to play it. I just, still a little bit tarnished. And it's that bad taste you get in the mouth, but I'm still getting the same frame sort of levels as I did on Ultra, by the way. And just looking at this now and coming back in, this is off scripted mental blurb out. So I've gone from ultra graphics to high graphics, and I'm getting the same. How is that optimized? And this is performing better than the actual main game does. And I know Steam reviews are absolutely castrating it. And what's annoying is the communications come out and says, make sure it drives up to date and tweak your settings. I'm looking at this. If I was looking at this going, cool, yep, I'm on high, I'm getting average of 116 frames a second, proper good frames per second, right? The human eye looks at 24 frames a second is what it can picture. So, so you go to 60 frames a second. If you get 60 frames a second out of a game, you're like, boom, cutscenes and all of that stuff. It's really, really good. And I come out of that and go, yeah, cool. I'm getting, on average, 116 frames per second with frame generation. And I'm going, okay, cool. This is really, really good. I shouldn't be experiencing any any issues, any sort of dips. The frame generation should kick in and it should pull it up. But it's not like it's there for like half a second. It's there and it just chugs. My first venture into the game, when I launched the first cutscene, it was like judded. I had the audio coming and it was like jud. I was like, oh my God, what? Got out of that, deleted that save because, you just Alt F4'd it and done. And then I saw, drivers, do I need to do a driver update? Why? Why? I should be able to download the game and just play. I shouldn't need to spend hours searching forums, going through fine-tuning things myself to not have the opening cutscene. Judd, I got up at like 4:30 in the morning to hit a 5 o'clock release date, release time for UK, and I didn't start recording until 7 o'clock. It took me 2 hours to get a stable first cutscene that's not on me. That's not me. They should give me a game that I just download it and it plays. And again, I've got an average of 116 frames a second with frame generation. I should just be able to play. But I haven't. And that put me in a bad mood. And then I've had a lot of performance issues. And again, it's not one performance issue. It's you tweak stuff. So I pulled down the mesh and other stuff started flickering. I'm like, oh my God, why? And then sort of put that back up again. It's like, okay, cool, I'm fine. You go through and then suddenly, pop, there's a character, or pop, there's a hole in the floor that wasn't there before. Like spun around in my testing. It's like, oh, I now can literally see through the floor in the base camp. Perfect. Thank you, game. Please spend more time optimizing and give us a stable platform to play on. Because the core gameplay is amazing. I'm having some performance issues and I'm struggling with the story and the pacing of it. I'm just hoping, just wanting to get through when it opens up at the end after the final boss, and I can start to do what the hell I want and not have to worry about story. Rant over. Sorry about that. But yeah, just has to be said, the more people that say it on forums, on videos, that it's just becoming unacceptable in a modern gaming environment to have not half-baked, that's probably unfair, but undercooked things released is not good enough. Rant over. I'm going back to record some more.